Subhanallah. Subhanallah al-Azim. So what happened? They placed him in a crucifixion position. And they started to throw spears at him, in between his hands and legs and head. And he was steadfast. Then they've tried to bring him a beautiful woman, so he can indulge in fornication with her. A young man, strong man. And when she left, she said, I don't know if this man is a man or a rock. Because nothing moved, huh? And then they've tried, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, to feed him pork. In circumstances like this, where he's hungry, it's permissible. This is the beauty of Islam. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah does not give a soul which it can't bear. If you are in a situation where you are so hungry, you're just about to die, and you find a Kentucky fried pork, it's permissible for you to eat Islamically. Or you find a stubby in the hot desert sun and you're just about to die from thirst, it's permissible for you to drink it. But this young man refused. He said no. And then they've brought two of his friends. They've placed him in hot boiling water. And there's another narration, oil. They've died instantly as you've put a hot, as you put a chicken in a hot boiling oil. And he started to cry. This young man started to cry. And then the king was informed. Then he said, bring him to me. Abdullah ibn Hudhayfa, this young man. He said to him, are you willing now to embrace Christianity? He said, no. He said, then why were you crying? He said, I was crying because I have one ruh, one soul. Once your soul exits your body, that's it, you're dead. He said, I wish for every hair in my body a soul that dies for the sake of Allah. This Roman was shocked, amazed by this amazing young man. He said to him, okay. He said to him, I'm willing to release you. This young man has said, first of all, the king has said, I'm willing to release you on the condition that you kiss my forehead. This young man has said, I have also a condition that you release my friends. You see, a Muslim is not selfish nor greedy. The world's problem today is one word: greed, selfishness. Everybody is concerned for his well-being and they don't care about the rest of the world. And the Prophet Muhammad said, لا يؤمن أحدكم. None of you are true believers. You will not attain this high status of devotion until you love to your brother what you love to yourself, and sister to herself. You will never become a true believer until you love to your brother what you love to yourself from good. Not when you break your leg, you say, I love for my brother as I love for myself, that he breaks his leg. Of good. This king was amazed by the responsibility that this young man has shown, and determination and steadfastness. He said to him, yes, I'm willing to release your friends. So they were released and they went to Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala an. And Abdullah ibn Hudhayfa told him the story. So Umar al-Khattab has said to all of those that were gathered at that specific time, he said, you are all to get up and kiss the forehead of Abdullah ibn Hudhayfa radiyallahu ta'ala. You'll be tested, my dear brothers and sisters. We need to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us and He has put things in our hearts. The love of wealth, the love of women, the love of children, the love of property. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed this in our hearts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said this in Al-Quran, زُيَّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ والبنين والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام إن لكل أمة فتنة وفتنة أمتي المال. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, it has been beautified to mankind, the love of women. It's normal that we men desire women. Can you imagine if a young man was to come up to you and say, Abu Hamza, I'd like to get married, but guess what? I'm not interested in women. Would you allow him to marry someone that you have in mind? No, surely. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has naturally placed this in us. We have this desire. As long as a person stays on this natural belief and natural way, every man will desire women and every woman will desire men. That's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ. It has been beautiful to mankind the temptations of women, children, wealth. These are things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created in us. But with this temptation and desire for these things, we must control our love for women. You can't marry someone that is already married. You can't, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, rob and cheat and steal from people. We need to control ourselves. There are tests. The money that you have is a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Are you going to be grateful to Allah of what He's given you? Or are you going to be ungrateful? It's a test. Wealth has been given to you. And Allah has said subhanahu wa ta'ala, 2.5% of your wealth must be given to the poor. You've been tested with this money. Are you going to give it to the poor? It's their poor due. It's their rights. You must give it. If you are a true Muslim, you must give it. And we know that Abu Bakr radiallahu anh fought those people who've prayed, who believed in Allah and His Messenger. They performed Hajj. They also fasted the month of Ramadan. But one thing they did not do is, after the death of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they did not pay zakat. And he fought them and he killed many of them until they repented, the rest of them. A Muslim is tested at all time. When you have my dear sister, when you have a husband that is harsh and sometimes abusive verbally, for example, you've been tested with your husband. Be patient with him. Don't confront him. Don't challenge him. Make dua for him. Ask Allah to forgive him. Ask Allah to change him. Give him a gift of a book that would be probably suitable for him. The same thing. When you have a disobedient wife, be patient with her. My dear brothers, be an example to her. Also make dua for her. Make sure that she is intermingling with good sisters. Make sure that she's associating with pious and devoted sisters that would not take advantage of their gatherings by backbiting and slandering others. You are tested, my dear brothers and sisters. Are you a person that you're going to fail? A disobedient son or a daughter, be patient with them. Be patient. Make sure that you bring them to gatherings like this where angels are present. Wallah, there are angels that are present in these gatherings. Uqsumu billah. Because that's what the Prophet, peace be upon him, has said. Whenever there's a gathering that people are remembering Allah, there are angels present. And any gathering that people are backbiting, slandering, drinking alcohol, intermingling, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, know that there are shayateen present in this gathering. You'll be tested. Be steadfast.